Welcome to an ancient journey of meditation and peace. Tonight, let the sacred sounds of the Rain Temple guide your soul. Through 8 timeless stories ahead, we'll discover the secrets of mind purification together. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and let the journey begin. Part 1. The Whispering Gates. The rain falls. A young traveler stands before the ancient gates. "Why do you pause?" asks an unseen voice. The traveler listens. The sound of rain fills the silence. "Do you hear the gates whisper?" The voice continues. The traveler closes their eyes. "I hear only the rain." Listen again. Listen not with your ears, but with your heart. The traveler breathes in slow and deep. The rain becomes a rhythm, a pattern, a language. "Do you seek wisdom?" the voice asks. "I seek peace," the traveler replies. "Peace is found in listening. Stand still. Let the sound enter you." The traveler stands motionless. The rain grows louder, then softer, then becomes a gentle hum. "Every drop is a word," the voice says. "Every word is a lesson." The traveler whispers, "What is the lesson?" "Patience," the voice answers. "The gates open only for those who wait." A moment passes. The traveler waits. "Are you ready to enter?" the voice asks. "I am ready," the traveler says. "Then speak your intention." "I wish to leave my worries behind." "Speak them aloud. Let the rain carry them away." The traveler names each worry softly, one by one. Fear, doubt, restlessness, regret. The rain seems to echo each word, then wash it away. "Now, are you lighter?" the voice asks. "I feel lighter," the traveler replies. Then the gates will open. A low sound, like a sigh, fills the air. The traveler steps forward, the gates slowly parting. "Enter with an open heart," the voice whispers. The traveler steps inside the rain's rhythm. Now, a gentle song. "Remember," the voice says, "true peace comes from within." The traveler nods, stepping deeper into the temple's embrace. "Let the journey begin," the voice concludes. The rain continues to fall, a sacred sound guiding the way. Listen, and you will find your path. The traveler breathes deeply, feeling the weight of the world lift. "Thank you," the traveler whispers. "You are welcome," the voice replies. The gates close softly behind the rain's song, echoing in the silence. The traveler smiles, ready for what lies ahead. The journey has just begun. "Patience," the voice reminds once more. The traveler steps forward, heart open, mind clear. The traveler walks deeper into the temple grounds, the sound of rain a constant companion. "What lies beyond these gates?" the traveler asks. "Path to understanding." "Bamsi das understanding," the voice replies. "How do I walk it?" "With an open heart and a quiet mind." The traveler nods, feeling the weight of the words. "Will I find answers?" "Answers come to those who listen, not those who demand." "And if I falter, then listen harder. The rain never ceases, and neither does the lesson." The traveler pauses, then continues forward. "Is this journey only for me?" "No, it is for all who seek peace." "How long must I walk?" "As long as it takes. Time is but a river flowing endlessly." "What if I lose my way?" "The rain will guide you back. Trust in its song." The traveler breathes deeply. "I am ready to learn." "Then listen well." The rain intensifies a symphony of droplets. "Each drop carries a story," the voice says. "Tell me one." "Once a leaf fell into the stream. It floated, carried by the current, never resisting. What did the leaf learn?" "Surrender. To trust the flow of life." "I want to learn that." "You will in time." The traveler smiles softly. "Thank you for your guidance. The journey is yours. Walk it with courage." The traveler steps forward, the rain's rhythm steady and sure. "I will listen. and I will be here always. The traveler finds a stone bench and sits. Why do I feel so restless? The traveler asks aloud. Restlessness is the mind's way of seeking peace. The voice answers. How do I calm it? By embracing the present moment drop by drop like the rain. But the past haunts me. The past is a shadow. Do not chase it, but learn from its shape. And the future is a mist. Walk forward, but do not lose sight of the now. I want to be free. Freedom begins within. How do I start? By listening. The traveler closes their eyes. I hear the rain. Good. Now hear your breath. The traveler breathes deeply. I feel a calmness. That is the beginning. Will it last? Like the rain, it comes and goes. Learn to welcome both. I will try. Try no more, just be. The traveler opens their eyes, a new light within. Thank you. You are welcome. The rain continues a sacred rhythm. The traveler rises and walks toward a small pavilion. What is this place? The traveler asks. A sanctuary for the mind. How do I find sanctuary within? By quieting the storm inside. The storm is loud. Listen to the rain. It is louder yet peaceful. I want to be like the rain. Then let it teach you. The traveler sits and listens. What should I listen for? The silence between the drops. Silence. Yes, the space where peace lives. I hear it now. Good. Hold on to it. Will I lose it? Sometimes, but it will return, like the rain. Exactly. The traveler smiles. I feel hope. Hope is the seed of peace. I will nurture it, and it will grow. The rain softens a gentle lullaby. Rest now, the voice whispers. I will. The traveler closes their eyes, heart light. The traveler dreams of rain and quiet paths. What do you see? The voice asks. A world at peace. And what brings peace? Understanding. Understanding of what? Of myself. A worthy journey. How do I continue it? With each breath, each step, each moment. Will I be alone? Never. The rain is always with you. Thank you for your guidance. The journey is yours to walk. The traveler wakes, feeling renewed. I am ready. Then go forth with peace. The traveler walks along a stone path, rain tapping a steady beat. What is the next lesson? The traveler asks. Patience, the voice replies. Patience, yes, like the rain, patience nourishes growth. How do I practice it? By waiting without worry, by trusting the process. It is difficult. All worthwhile things are. I will try. Try no more, just be patient. I will remember. Good. The traveler breathes deeply, feeling the rain's rhythm. I feel stronger. You are. Thank you. You are welcome. The traveler pauses by a small pond, watching raindrops ripple the surface. What do the ripples teach? The traveler asks. That every action has an effect. Even small ones, especially small ones. How do I make my actions meaningful? By acting with intention and kindness. I want to be kind. Kindness is the heart's true language. How do I speak it? Through every word and deed. I will try. No need to try. Just be kind. I will remember. The traveler smiles, feeling warmth despite the rain. Thank you. You are welcome. The traveler continues along the path, rain falling softly. What is the final lesson for today? The traveler asks. Gratitude, the voice replies. Gratitude, yes, for the rain, for the journey, for the moment. How do I practice gratitude? By noticing the gifts in each day, no matter how small. I will try. Try no more. Just be grateful. I will remember. Good. The traveler breathes deeply, feeling peace. Thank you for your guidance. You are welcome. The traveler stands at the temple's heart, rain falling all around. What now? The traveler asks. Now you carry the rain within you. How do I do that? By remembering the lessons, by listening always. Will I forget? Sometimes, but the rain will remind you. I am grateful, and so the journey continues. The traveler smiles heartful. Thank you. You are welcome. The traveler takes a deep breath, feeling the rain's embrace. I will carry this peace with me, the traveler says, and it will carry you, the voice replies, until we meet again. Until then, listen to the rain. The traveler nods, stepping forward into the unknown. The rain falls steadily, a timeless song. The traveler walks on, heart open, mind clear. The journey has just begun. Part 2. The Monk and the Silver Stream. Brother Kien sits beside the water. His mind churns with thoughts that will not settle. Master, he calls to the elder monk nearby. My thoughts race like wild horses. Master Chen approaches slowly. What troubles you, young brother? I cannot find stillness. Every meditation brings more chaos. Show me where you sit to practice. Keen points to a cushion far from the stream, there in the dry corner. Ah, Master Chen nods. Come, sit here instead. They move closer to the flowing water. Listen, Master Chen says simply. I hear water moving. Listen deeper. Keen closes his eyes. The sound becomes clearer, more distinct. Each drop speaks. Master Chen continues. What does it say? I cannot understand. Then let me translate. This drop says, I carry your fear of failure. And this one, I take your anger at yourself. Keen opens his eyes. The water carries worries. Watch closely. Master Chen picks up a small stone. This stone is your restlessness. He drops it into the stream. The water flows around it, then carries it downstream. Where did it go? Kien asks. Away, forever away. But stones are heavy. Water seems so gentle. Gentle, yes, but persistent. Water does not force. It simply flows, and in flowing it moves everything. Keen stares at the stream. How do I give my worries to the water? Speak them aloud. Name each one. Here, now. The water is always listening. Keen hesitates, then speaks quietly. I worry that I am not worthy to be a monk. Master Chen nods toward the stream. See that ripple? Your worry has entered the water. I fear I will never find peace. Another ripple appears. I am angry at my impatience. The water continues to flow, carrying each confession downstream. How do you feel now? Master Chen asks. Lighter, as if something has been lifted. The water has taken your burdens, but you must let them go completely. How? By trusting the flow. When the thoughts return, come back to the stream. Keen nods. Will you teach me more? The water is your teacher now. I will share what I have learned from sitting here. Please do. Master Chen settles beside him. When I first came to this stream, I was like you. My mind held on to everything. Past mistakes, future fears present frustrations. What changed? I learned to watch the water's patience. It does not hurry, yet it reaches the ocean. It does not fight the stones, yet it shapes them over time. I want to be like water. Then practice fluidity. When anger arises, let it flow through you and away. When sadness comes, let it move like a current, not a dam. It sounds simple. Simple but not easy. The mind prefers to grasp, to hold, to control. Kien dips his hand in the stream. The water is cool. Feel how it moves around your fingers. It does not cling. It flows freely. I feel the movement. That is how thoughts should move through your mind. Freely, without attachment. But some thoughts seem important. Observe them like you observe the water. Some drops are clear, some carry leaves, some are cloudy. All pass by. Kien watches the stream more intently. I see different things floating past. Yes, like thoughts in consciousness. You can notice them without becoming them. Without becoming them. You are not your thoughts, young brother. You are the awareness that observes them. like the bank of the stream. Exactly, the bank remains while the water flows. Kien sits quietly for several minutes. Master, why does the water never stop? Because stopping would mean stagnation. Movement is life. Even in meditation, especially in meditation, true stillness is not stopping all movement. It is finding the stillness within movement. I do not understand. Watch the deepest part of the stream. See how calm it appears even as it flows. Keen looks carefully. Yes, it seems still, but it is moving. That is the stillness we seek. Not the absence of thought, but peace within the flow of thoughts. How do I find that peace? By becoming intimate with the flow. Sit here daily. Learn the stream's rhythms. What will I learn? You will learn that resistance creates turbulence. Acceptance creates calm. Keen nods slowly. I want to try. Then sit. Watch. Listen. Let the water teach you. Master Chen begins to rise. I will leave you with your teacher now. Wait, Kien calls. What if I become discouraged? Remember this, the stream has flowed for countless years. It has never stopped learning how to flow. Neither should you stop learning how to be. How long should I sit here until you feel the peace you seek? Sometimes moments, sometimes hours. And if peace does not come, then sit longer. Peace is always present. We simply learn to recognize it. Master Chen walks away, leaving Kien alone with the stream. Kien closes his eyes again. The sound of water fills his awareness. What are you teaching me? He asks the stream silently. A leaf falls into the water near him. He watches it float away. Letting go, he whispers to himself. Another leaf falls, then another. Everything passes, he realizes. A small fish swims by, moving effortlessly with the current, moving with life, not against it. Kien feels his breathing slow and deepen. I am learning, he says softly. The stream continues its endless song. Hours pass. The sun moves across the sky. Still Kien sits. What else will you teach me? He asks the water. A bird lands on a stone in the stream, drinks, then flies away, taking what I need, then moving on. A butterfly touches the water's surface, creating tiny ripples. Even the smallest touch creates change. Kien opens his eyes and looks at his hands. He cups some water and lets it flow through his fingers. I want to flow like this. He tries to hold the water, but it runs away. Holding creates loss. Releasing creates freedom. The realization strikes him deeply. I have been trying to hold my thoughts, my feelings, my experiences. He releases another handful of water. What happens when I stop holding? He sits very still and stops trying to control his mind. Thoughts come and go. He watches them like leaves on the stream. They move by themselves. He marvels. Worry arrives. He watches it float past. Joy appears. He lets it flow through. Sadness comes. He allows its passage. I am not these emotions. I am the one who watches them. For the first time, Kien feels true peace. Thank you, he whispers to the stream. The water continues flowing, carrying his gratitude downstream. As evening approaches, Kien finally rises. I will return tomorrow, he promises the stream. He walks back toward the temple, feeling changed. Master Chen waits by the gate. How was your lesson? The water taught me to let go. And how do you feel? Like the stream itself, always moving, but somehow at peace. Master Chen smiles. You are learning well. Will you teach me more tomorrow? The stream will teach you. I will simply sit nearby. Thank you, Master. Thank the water, young brother. It is your true teacher now. Kien bows to Master Chen, then turns back to bow to the stream. The water flows on, carrying away the last of his old burdens. Tomorrow I will learn more. he thinks as he enters the temple. The stream's song follows him, a melody of peace and release. That night, Kien dreams of flowing water and feels for the first time in months truly rested. The lesson of the silver stream has begun. Part 3. The Lotus Bell. Sister May wakes before dawn, as she has for 20 years. The temple sleeps around her, but she knows the bell will soon sing its morning song. She rises from her meditation cushion and walks toward the bell tower. "Sister May," calls a young voice behind her. "Why do you wake so early?" She turns to see Brother Lin, a novice who arrived only last month. His eyes hold confusion and fatigue. "I wake to hear the first bell," she replies softly. "Come with me if you wish to understand." They walk together through the silent corridors. Brother Lin yawns and stumbles slightly. "I do not understand the purpose," he admits. "The bell wakes everyone anyway. Why not sleep until then?" "The first bell is different from the others," Sister May explains. "It carries a special message for those who choose to listen." They reach the base of the bell tower just as the sky begins to lighten. Rain starts to fall, gentle drops tapping against the wooden beams above them. "Listen carefully now," Sister May whispers. The great bell begins to sound. Its tone is deep and resonant, but there is something unusual about its rhythm. It does not ring in steady intervals like most temple bells. Instead, it follows a pattern that matches the falling rain. "Do you hear it?" Sister May asks. Brother Lin tilts his head, concentrating. "It sounds irregular." "Not irregular, natural. The bell rings with the rain's rhythm." "How is that possible?" "Master Huang designed it that way long ago. The bell's mechanism responds to the moisture in the air, to the pressure changes that bring rain." They stand in silence, listening to the bell's unique song. The rain grows heavier, and the bell's rhythm shifts accordingly. "I have never heard anything like it," Brother Lin admits. "Most people have not. They hear only noise when storms come. But Master Huang taught us to hear music in the chaos." "Tell me about Master Huang." Sister May settles on a stone bench nearby. "He came to this temple during the worst flood in memory. The valley was drowning, the crops were ruined, and people were losing hope. What did he do? He listened to the storm instead of fighting it. While others cursed the rain, he heard rhythm. While others saw destruction, he saw possibility." The bell continues its rain-synchronized song above them. He spent months studying the patterns of rain and storm. He discovered that every weather change has its own music if you know how to listen. And the bell. He designed it to teach us this lesson. When the bell rings, it reminds us that even chaos has harmony within it. Brother Lin looks up at the bell tower. "How does it change our understanding?" Listen to your own reaction. When you first heard the irregular ringing, what did you feel? Annoyance, confusion, and now I hear something almost like music. Exactly. The bell teaches us that our first response to change is often resistance. But if we listen longer, deeper, we find beauty where we expected only disruption. The rain intensifies, and the bell's song becomes more complex, more layered. "I am beginning to understand," Brother Lin says slowly. "Tell me what you hear now." "I hear the rain speaking through the bell, as if nature itself is singing." Sister May smiles. "Master Huang would be pleased. That is exactly what he hoped people would discover." Did he create other teachings like this? Many, but the bell was his masterpiece. He said it would teach long after his voice was silent. Where is Master Huang now? He passed away 15 years ago, but his teaching lives in every morning song. They sit quietly as the bell continues its rhythmic dialogue with the storm. "Sister May," Brother Lin asks after a while, "why did you bring me here today?" "Because you have been struggling with your meditation practice. You told me that your mind feels chaotic, that you cannot find peace. That is true. The bell teaches us that chaos and peace can exist together. Your restless mind is not your enemy. It is simply weather passing through. I do not understand the comparison. Your thoughts are like rain. Some days they fall gently, some days they storm. But underneath all weather, the sky remains clear. The sky remains clear. Your true nature, your essential peace is like that sky, always present even when clouds gather. The bell's rhythm shifts again as the rain becomes lighter. See how the bell adjusts to the changing rain. This is how we learn to work with our minds instead of against them. How do I apply this to meditation? Stop trying to stop your thoughts. Instead, listen to their rhythm. Find the pattern beneath the apparent chaos. That sounds impossible. It seemed impossible to hear music in a storm too. But now you hear it clearly. Brother Lin nods slowly. I see the connection. When you meditate tomorrow, remember the bell. Let your thoughts ring with their natural rhythm. Do not force silence. Find the silence within the sound. Will you teach me more about this? The bell will teach you. Come here each morning for 1 month. Listen to how it responds to different types of rain, different seasons of weather. And I will learn to work with my mind the same way. You will learn that your mind, like the weather, is constantly changing. And change itself can be beautiful. The bell's song grows softer as the rain diminishes to a gentle mist. I feel calmer already, Brother Lin admits. That is the bell's first gift, but there are deeper lessons to come. What kind of lessons? You will discover them as you listen. Each person hears something different, something they need to learn. What did you learn when you first came here? Sister May pauses, remembering. I learned that sorrow and joy can ring together like harmony in music. You were sad when you arrived. I had lost my family in an earthquake. I came here angry at the world, angry at fate. And the bell changed that. The bell taught me that destruction and creation are part of the same song. The earthquake that took my family also led me to this place, to this teaching, to a different kind of family. That must have been difficult to accept, very difficult. I fought the teaching for months, but the bell sang every morning, patient and persistent. When did you finally understand? One morning, during a terrible storm, I was crying, feeling sorry for myself, but the bell rang so beautifully with the lightning and thunder that I stopped crying and started listening. What did you hear? I heard that my grief and the storm were singing together. Both were expressions of life's power, life's passion. Neither was wrong or right. Both were necessary. The bell grows quiet as the rain stops completely. The song is ending for today, Sister May observes. Will it sing again tomorrow? If there is rain, yes. If not, it will ring in the traditional way. Both songs have value. I want to come back tomorrow. Good. But remember, do not expect to hear the same song twice. Rain is never exactly the same, and neither is the bell's response. Like meditation practice. Exactly like meditation practice. Each sit is unique even when we use the same techniques. They begin walking back toward the main temple. Sister May I ask you something personal? Of course. Do you ever miss your old life before the earthquake? I miss the people I loved, but I do not miss the person I was then. Why not? I was like someone who could only hear noise in storms. Now I can hear music. Which life would you choose? Deshaun. Brother Lin considers this. The one with music. Then you understand why I'm grateful even for the earthquake that brought me here. That is a profound teaching. It is the bell's teaching, not mine. I am simply someone who learned to listen. They reach the temple courtyard as other monks and nuns begin to stir. Tomorrow we will listen again. Sister May says. I look forward to it. But remember, do not try to force any particular experience. Let the bell teach you what you need to learn. I will remember. And Brother Lin. Yes, when you meditate today, remember that your restless thoughts are not obstacles. They are the rain that makes the bell sing. Brother Lin bows gratefully. Thank you for this teaching. Thank the bell and thank the rain. They are your real teachers. As they part ways, Brother Lin looks back once toward the bell tower. Even in silence, it seems to hold the promise of tomorrow's song. Sister May watches him go, remembering her own first morning with the bell 20 years ago. She smiles, knowing that another student has begun to hear the music hidden within life's storms. The morning grows brighter, and the temple fully awakens. But in the bell tower, the mechanism waits patiently for the next rain, ready to transform weather into wisdom once again. Part 4. The Keeper of Echoes. Old Master Tran tends the sacred pools at dawn. His hands move slowly through the water, clearing fallen leaves. A young visitor approaches, carrying heavy sadness in her steps. Excuse me, the woman says quietly. I am looking for someone who can help me find peace. Master Tran continues his work without looking up. Peace is not something you find. It is something you remember. I do not understand. Sit by the pool. Tell me why you have come. The woman settles on the stone edge. My name is Anna. I have traveled far because I heard this temple offers healing. What needs healing? My heart. I have done terrible things. I cannot forgive myself. Master Tran finally looks at her. His eyes are kind but penetrating. What terrible thing? I spoke cruel words to my sister before she died. We quarreled and I said things I can never take back. And now she is gone. Yes, 3 months ago. I replay our last conversation every day. I hear my angry voice, my hateful words. Master Tran nods slowly. You hear echoes? Echoes, yes. Your words bounce back to you again and again. But you hear only the harshness, not the love underneath. There was no love underneath, only anger. Speak your sister's name to the pool. Anna hesitates. Why? Trust me. Say her name. Sarah, Anna whispers. Her voice carries across the water and returns softer and gentler than before. Listen, Master Tran says. How did your voice sound when it came back? Different. Kinder, somehow. The pool purifies echoes. It shows us the truth beneath our words. I do not believe that. Then speak the cruel words you said to her. Say them to the pool. Anna shakes her head. I cannot. Why not? They are too painful. Pain shared is pain diminished. Speak the words. Anna takes a deep breath. I told her she was selfish. I said she never cared about anyone but herself. The words echo across the pool, but when they return, they sound different. Less sharp, more sorrowful. What do you hear now? Master Tran asks. I hear hurt, not anger, but hurt. Yes, your anger was covering your hurt. You were not being cruel, you were being wounded. But I still said terrible things. Now, speak what you really meant to say. What do you mean? Beneath the angry words, what was your heart trying to tell her? Anna thinks for a moment. I wanted to say that I felt forgotten, that I needed her attention. Say that to the pool. I felt forgotten, Sarah. I needed you to see me. The echo comes back clear and loving. That is your true voice, Master Tran says. That is what your sister heard beneath your anger. How do you know? Because love recognizes love even when it wears the costume of anger. Anna begins to cry softly. But I still hurt her. Yes, and she probably hurt you too without meaning to. She did. This is how families love, imperfectly, with wounds and healing, with separation and reunion. But now there can be no reunion. Can there not? She is dead. Her body is dead. But love does not die. Speak to her, love, not to her absence. Anna looks confused. How do I speak to her, love? Close your eyes. Remember a time when she showed you kindness. Anna closes her eyes. She used to braid my hair when I was little. She was so gentle. Hold that memory. Now speak to that gentleness. Sarah, I remember how patient you were with me. The echo returns warm and healing. Feel how different that echo sounds. It sounds like forgiveness. Because it is forgiveness. Not her forgiving you, but you forgiving yourself. I do not deserve forgiveness. Who told you that? No one. I just know it. You know nothing. You assume everything. There is a difference. Master Tran moves closer to the pool's edge. Watch the water, he says. See how it reflects everything equally. The sky, the trees, your face. I see. Does the water judge what it reflects? No. Does it refuse to reflect angry faces or sad faces? No, it reflects everything. The pool teaches us to be like water, to reflect truth without judgment. What truth does it show about me? Look at your reflection and tell me what you see. Anna gazes into the water. I see a woman who made mistakes. Look deeper. I see someone who loved her sister but did not know how to show it. Deeper still, I see someone who is afraid of being alone. And beneath that fear, Anna stares longer. I see someone who wants to love and be loved. That is who you really are. The angry words were just weather passing through. Weather, emotions are like weather. They come and go. But you, the one who experiences them, remain constant. I never thought of it that way. Your sister knew this. She saw past your angry weather to your loving sky. How can you be sure? Because you are here seeking healing. Someone who was truly cruel would not feel this pain. Anna considers this. What should I do now? Practice speaking with love instead of anger. How? Start with yourself. Speak kindly to your own reflection. Anna looks into the pool again. I forgive myself for being human. The echo returns gentle and accepting. Good. Now, speak to others with the same kindness. What if they do not respond well? That is their choice. Your responsibility is only to speak from love. Will the pain of losing Sarah ever stop? The pain will transform. It will become a bridge instead of a wall. A bridge to what? To understanding, to compassion, to helping others who carry similar wounds. I had not thought of that. Master Tran begins walking around the pool's perimeter. Tell me, Anna, what do you do for work? I am a teacher. Do you speak harshly to your students when you are frustrated? Anna pauses. Sometimes, yes. And how do they respond? They become defensive. They stop learning. What if you spoke to them the way the pool taught you to speak to Sarah? With understanding instead of judgment. Yes, they would probably open their hearts more. Your sister's death can become a gift to your students then. How so? Through your pain, you learn to speak with greater love. Your students will benefit from this wisdom. I never considered that suffering could serve others. All suffering can serve if we let it teach us instead of embitter us. Anna sits quietly for several minutes, listening to the gentle sounds of water. Master Tran, may I ask you something personal? Of course. Have you lost someone you loved? I have lost many people. My parents, my wife, my closest friend. How do you bear it? I learned to hear the echoes of their love instead of the silence of their absence. What do you mean? When I speak kindly to someone, I hear my wife's voice joining mine. When I tend these pools, I feel my father's hands guiding mine. They live on through your actions. They live on through love itself. Love is eternal. Bodies are temporary. That gives me hope. Hope is the echo of love calling us forward. I want to learn to hear those echoes. Then practice listening with your heart instead of your mind. How do I tell the difference? The mind hears words, the heart hears intention. Anna nods slowly. I think I understand. Come back tomorrow, Master Tran says. Bring someone who needs to hear loving echoes. Bring someone. Yes, teaching others helps us learn ourselves. Who should I bring? Trust that the right person will appear. What if no one appears? Then you are not ready to teach yet. And that is perfectly acceptable. Anna stands up from the pool's edge. Thank you for this lesson. Thank the pool. Thank your sister. Thank your own courage in coming here. I will remember this conversation. More importantly, you will remember how love sounds when it echoes back to you. As Anna walks away, Master Tran returns to tending the pool. He speaks softly to the water. Another heart learns to heal itself. Thank you for reflecting truth so clearly. The pool continues its quiet work, ready to teach the next visitor who seeks to transform their words from weapons into bridges. Master Tran smiles, knowing that tomorrow will bring new opportunities for healing, new voices, learning to echo with love instead of pain. Part 5. The Bamboo Grove. Meditation. Master Li leads 3 novices through the temple grounds toward the ancient bamboo grove. Brother Jen, Sister Lily, and Brother David follow behind, their minds filled with questions about today's special meditation practice. Why do we meditate in the bamboo grove during rain? Brother Chen asks as they walk. Because the bamboo teaches what the meditation hall cannot. Master Li replies without turning around. What can plants teach us that books cannot? Sister Lily wonders aloud. Patience. You will understand soon enough. They reach the edge of the grove just as light rain begins to fall. The bamboo stalks stretch tall above them, their leaves creating a natural canopy. Sit here, Master Li instructs, pointing to a small clearing in the center of the grove. Form a circle. The students arrange themselves on the ground, sitting cross-legged on woven mats Master Li has provided. Close your eyes, he says softly. Listen. At first, the novices hear only ordinary sounds. Raindrops hitting leaves, wind moving through stalks, their own breathing. I hear rain, Brother David whispers. Listen deeper, Master Li responds. As the rain intensifies, a new sound emerges. The raindrops striking the bamboo leaves create a gentle rhythm, almost like music. The bamboo is singing, Sister Lily says with wonder. Not singing, dancing. The bamboo moves with the rain instead of resisting it. Brother Chen opens his eyes. Should we not be still during meditation? Close your eyes again. Tell me what stillness means to you. Not moving, being quiet, controlling the mind. Watch the bamboo with your mind's eye. Is it still? Brother Chen imagines the bamboo swaying gently in the rain. No, it moves constantly. Yet, does it seem peaceful to you? Yes, very peaceful. This is the first lesson. True stillness is not the absence of movement. It is movement in harmony with natural forces. The rain grows stronger, and the bamboo's rhythm becomes more pronounced. Each leaf adds its voice to the symphony. I feel like I am inside a drum, Brother David says. You are inside life itself, Master Li explains. Life is rhythm, heartbeat, breathing, seasons, birth, death, all rhythm. But I thought meditation was about stopping thoughts. Sister Lily says, who taught you that? My previous teacher. Your previous teacher was partially correct. We do not fight thoughts. We learn to move with them like bamboo moves with wind. A strong gust shakes the grove, and the bamboo stalks bend dramatically but do not break. See how they yield, Master Li points out. This is wisdom. Rigidity breaks, flexibility endures. How do we apply this to our minds? Brother Chen asks. When a difficult emotion arises, do not resist it. Bend with it. Let it pass through you. What if the emotion is anger? Feel the anger, acknowledge it, then let it move through you like wind through bamboo. Sister Lily shifts uncomfortably. That sounds frightening. What if the anger overwhelms me? Look at the bamboo again. Does the wind overwhelm it? No, because it moves with the wind. Exactly. You become overwhelmed only when you resist. When you flow with emotion, it passes naturally. The rain continues steadily, creating a complex rhythm on the varied sizes of bamboo leaves. I notice different sounds from different parts of the grove, Brother David observes. Yes, each bamboo stalk is unique, just as each person is unique, but all contribute to the same symphony. What symphony? The symphony of existence. Your anger, my joy, Chen's worry, Lily's hope, all are notes in the same composition. Brother Chen frowns. But some emotions are negative. Are they, or are they simply different notes in the song? I do not understand. Listen to the grove now. Some raindrops create high sounds, some low sounds. Are the low sounds wrong? No, they create harmony together. Human emotions work the same way. Sadness gives depth to joy. Fear gives meaning to courage. Sister Lily raises her hand. Master Li, I struggle with sadness often. How do I practice this teaching? When sadness comes, sit with it like you sit in this grove. Do not try to change it. Listen to its rhythm. Listen to sadness. Yes, sadness has its own song, its own wisdom. It teaches compassion, connects you to others who suffer, opens your heart. A particularly strong gust causes the entire grove to sway in unison. Beautiful, Master Li murmurs. See how they move together. This is community. Community. When you practice flowing with your emotions, you become easier to be around. Others feel safe in your presence. Brother David nods slowly, like how we feel safe in this grove. Exactly. The bamboo does not fight the storm, so the storm has no reason to destroy it. But what about setting boundaries? Sister Lily asks. Should we accept everything? Acceptance does not mean passivity. The bamboo accepts the wind but keeps its roots strong. What are our roots? Your values, your compassion, your commitment to truth. These remain steady while emotions flow through you. The rain begins to lighten and the grove's rhythm becomes gentler. I feel calmer, Brother Chen admits. The grove is teaching you its secret, Master Li says. What secret? That peace and movement can exist together. That you can be centered while experiencing change. Brother David opens his eyes and looks around. The bamboo never stops moving, but it never seems agitated. Because it accepts its nature, it is meant to move. We are meant to have emotions. You are meant to experience the full range of human feeling. Fighting this nature creates suffering. Sister Lily takes a deep breath. So, when I feel sad, I should welcome it. Welcome it like the bamboo welcomes rain. Not with enthusiasm necessarily, but without resistance. And if I feel angry, the same. Feel the anger fully, but do not let it take root. Let it pass through. The rain stops, but the grove continues to drip and rustle softly. Even when the rain stops, the bamboo keeps moving gently. Brother Chen observes. Yes, this teaches us about the after effects of emotion. Feelings have echoes, but these echoes fade naturally if we do not grasp them. Grasp them, replay them, analyze them, try to hold on to them, or push them away. Brother David stands up slowly. I think I understand. We let emotions be natural like weather. Very good. Emotions are weather of the mind. Sometimes storms, sometimes sunshine, sometimes gentle rain. Sister Lily also rises. Master Li, how long does it take to learn this? How long has this bamboo been learning to bend? Years, decades, all its life. And it continues learning with each storm. So this is lifelong practice. Yes, but each day you practice, you become more flexible, more peaceful. Brother Chen joins them in standing. Will we meditate here again? Whenever you need to remember how to flow with life instead of fighting it. What if there is no rain? There is always some kind of weather. Inner weather, outer weather. The bamboo responds to all of it. Master Li begins gathering the meditation mats. Remember today's lesson when you return to daily life. How do we remember? When you feel resistance rising in your mind, think of the bamboo. Ask yourself, how would bamboo handle this situation? By bending instead of breaking, by accepting what is while staying rooted in what matters. They begin walking back toward the temple. Sister Lily looks over her shoulder at the grove. The bamboo looks so graceful. Grace comes from accepting your nature instead of fighting it. Brother David kicks a small stone. I have been fighting my nature for years. What is your nature? I am naturally anxious. I thought meditation would eliminate anxiety. Meditation teaches you to be anxious gracefully, like bamboo being windy gracefully. Anxious gracefully, feeling anxiety without being overwhelmed by it, experiencing it without letting it control your actions. As they reach the temple entrance, Master Li turns to face his students. Practice this week with ordinary activities. When you wash dishes, move like bamboo. When you walk, step like bamboo. When you speak, let words flow like bamboo sways. What will this teach us? Brother Chen asks. That all of life can be meditation when you stop fighting and start flowing. Thank you for this lesson, Sister Lily says, bowing. Thank the bamboo, thank the rain. They are your teachers now. The three novices bow and enter the temple, their minds filled with the sound of rain on bamboo leaves and the image of graceful flexibility in the face of life's storms. Master Li remains outside for a moment, listening to the grove's continuing whispers. Another day, another lesson shared, he says quietly to himself, then follows his students inside. Part 6. The Lantern of Clarity. Brother Wei carries the ancient lantern through the temple corridors. His mind wrestles with doubts that have plagued him for months. The flame flickers as he walks, but he pays little attention to its dance. He stops at the first prayer station. The ritual requires lighting 3 smaller candles from the main flame. As he performs this task, his thoughts circle back to the conversation he overheard earlier between 2 senior monks. Brother Wei struggles with his faith, one had said. Perhaps he is not meant for this life. The words cut deep because they echo his own fears. He lights the first candle and watches the flame catch. The action is automatic, practiced through years of repetition, but tonight something feels different. Moving to the second station, he encounters Sister Ming sweeping the floors. She nods in acknowledgement but says nothing. Her presence reminds him of his early days at the temple when everything seemed clear and purposeful. Brother Wei remembers arriving here 5 years ago, convinced that monastic life would provide all the answers he sought. The certainty he felt then now seems naive. He lights another candle, the flame steady despite his trembling hands. The third station sits near the garden entrance. Rain patters against the windows, creating rhythms that pull his attention outward. He thinks about his family, wondering if they still expect him to return home unsuccessful. His father had predicted this moment. "You seek easy answers in difficult places," he had said during their final argument. "Life's questions don't disappear just because you hide from them." Brother Wei completes the lighting ritual and continues toward the main sanctuary. The lantern's weight feels heavier with each step, though he knows this is impossible. Physical objects don't change mass based on emotional states. He pauses at the threshold of the sanctuary, remembering Master Chen's teaching from last week about the nature of doubt. Doubt is not the opposite of faith, the Master had explained. Doubt is faith examining itself. The concept had seemed profound in the moment, but now it feels like empty philosophy. Brother Wei wants concrete answers, not more questions disguised as wisdom. Inside the sanctuary, he begins the evening illumination ceremony. This involves lighting 7 large candles arranged around the central altar. Each flame represents a different aspect of spiritual development. As he lights the first candle representing humility, Brother Wei considers his pride. He came to the temple believing himself spiritually advanced, only to discover how little he understood about anything. The second candle symbolizes patience. His impatience has grown worse over the years, not better. Every meditation session feels like a failure. Every teaching seems to reveal new depths of his ignorance. The third flame represents compassion. Brother Wei struggles with this most of all. How can he show compassion to others when he feels so critical of himself? His inner voice has become harsh and unforgiving. He lights the 4th candle for wisdom. The irony strikes him as he performs this action. 5 years of study have convinced him that wisdom might be an illusion, a concept invented by people who want to feel important. The 5th flame stands for courage. Brother Wei questions whether staying at the temple requires courage or represents cowardice. Is he bravely pursuing enlightenment or simply avoiding the challenges of ordinary life? The 6th candle represents mindfulness. His mind wanders constantly during meditation. Tonight, even during this sacred ritual, his thoughts jump between past regrets and future anxieties. Finally, he reaches the 7th candle, which symbolizes clarity. This is the one he dreads most because he feels further from clarity than ever. The flame catches easily, but Brother Wei feels nothing but confusion. With all 7 candles lit, he places the main lantern at the center of the altar. The combined light fills the sanctuary, creating shifting patterns on the walls. Brother Wei sits before the altar, trying to find meaning in the moment. His breathing slows as he watches the flames dance. They move independently, yet somehow in harmony, each responding to invisible currents in the air. This observation sparks something in his mind. Perhaps his doubt and faith are like these flames, not opposing forces, but different aspects of the same spiritual fire. His questioning mind might not be evidence of failure, but proof that he takes the spiritual path seriously. Brother Wei remembers a story Master Chen told about a famous monk who spent 40 years doubting his calling before experiencing profound awakening. The doubt itself had been necessary preparation for understanding. This possibility offers neither comfort nor certainty, but it provides a different framework for understanding his experience. Maybe spiritual development doesn't require eliminating doubt, but learning to hold doubt and faith simultaneously. He thinks about the lantern he carried tonight. It provided light not because it eliminated darkness, but because it coexisted with darkness. The flame needed the surrounding shadows to define its boundaries and purpose. Standing up from his meditation position, Brother Wei approaches the altar again. He picks up the main lantern and studies its construction. The metal frame protects the flame while allowing air to flow freely. Structure and openness work together. This balance reflects what he's been seeking in his spiritual life. He wanted either complete certainty or complete freedom from questions. But perhaps maturity means accepting the creative tension between knowing and not knowing. Brother Wei extinguishes the 7 altar candles one by one, leaving only the main lantern burning. The sanctuary dims but doesn't fall into complete darkness. The remaining light seems more precious because of its singularity. He carries the lantern back through the temple corridors, his steps more purposeful than before. The flame flickers as he walks, but he no longer interprets this as instability. The movement shows that the flame is alive, responsive to its environment. At his sleeping quarters, Brother Wei places the lantern on his bedside table. He will let it burn through the night, a reminder that some light persists even in uncertainty. Before sleep, he reflects on the evening's insights. His spiritual crisis hasn't been resolved, but it has been reframed. Perhaps the goal isn't to eliminate confusion, but to find peace within it. Tomorrow, he will continue his practices with renewed purpose, not because he believes they will provide definitive answers, but because the searching itself has value. The questions matter as much as any potential solutions. Brother Wei closes his eyes, the lantern's glow warming his face. For the first time in months, he feels grateful for his doubts. They have kept him honest, prevented him from accepting shallow substitutes for authentic understanding. The rain continues outside, drumming against his window in irregular rhythms. Like his spiritual journey, the weather follows patterns too complex for complete prediction. This unpredictability no longer frightens him. He drifts towards sleep. The lantern's flame steady beside him. In his dreams, he walks through corridors, filled with both light and shadow, finally comfortable, moving through spaces where certainty and mystery coexist. Part 7. The Silent Pilgrimage. Maya begins her walk at dawn when the temple path glistens with fresh rain. She has traveled 3 days to reach this sacred place, carrying questions that weigh heavier than her small pack. The monks told her yesterday that speaking is forbidden on this particular path, that silence opens doors words cannot unlock. Her first steps feel uncertain. Maya has always solved problems through talking through analyzing every angle until solutions emerge. This forced quiet unsettles her like trying to navigate with one sense removed. She thinks about her sister's recent death, the reason she came here seeking peace. The stone path curves past the first prayer shrine. Maya stops and removes her shoes as instructed. The cold stones shock her feet awake. She realizes she has been numbing herself for months, avoiding the full impact of her loss. The physical sensation forces her back into her body. Walking barefoot changes everything. Each step requires attention. Sharp pebbles demand careful placement. Wet moss offers unexpected softness. Maya cannot retreat into her usual mental spirals when her feet need such focused care. The path itself becomes a teacher, demanding presence. She passes other pilgrims moving in the opposite direction. Their faces carry a peace Maya envies. One elderly man nods slightly as they cross paths, and Maya sees something in his eyes that reminds her of her sister. Not sadness, but a deep acceptance she has never experienced. The rain intensifies, and Maya's clothes grow heavy with water. She thinks about turning back, finding shelter, waiting for better weather. But something stops her. Perhaps it is the memory of her sister's voice saying, "You always quit when things get difficult, Maya. Stay with the hard stuff for once." Her sister had been right about that pattern. Maya recalls leaving college before finals, quitting her first job after 2 weeks, ending relationships at the first sign of conflict. She has spent her life avoiding discomfort, and now discomfort is all she has left. The path descends toward a small bridge over a rushing stream. Maya grips the wooden railings and watches the water flow beneath. She thinks about permanence and change, about how the stream stays in the same place while the water constantly moves. Maybe grief works the same way. After the bridge, the path climbs steeply. Maya's legs burn and her breathing becomes labored. She wants to rest but forces herself to continue. Each step upward feels like lifting the weight of her accumulated regrets. She remembers every harsh word she spoke to her sister, every visit she postponed, every call she ignored. The physical strain strips away her usual defenses. Without words to organize her thoughts, emotions arise in their raw form. Anger at her sister for dying so young, guilt about their last argument, fear about facing life without her closest friend. Maya lets these feelings move through her without trying to fix or explain them. Halfway up the hill, she encounters a monk sitting beside the path. He is quite young, perhaps her age, and his presence surprises her. She expects him to offer some wisdom or instruction, but he simply smiles and returns to his meditation. His silence reminds her that this journey belongs to her alone. Maya continues climbing, and her mind begins to quiet. The rhythm of walking creates a natural meditation. Step, breath. The repetition soothes her anxiety and allows deeper awareness to emerge. She starts noticing details she normally misses, the texture of bark on nearby trees, the way raindrops gather on spider webs, the sound her footsteps make on different surfaces. Near the hilltop, Maya finds a weathered bench carved from a single piece of wood. She sits down and looks back at the path she has traveled. The temple buildings appear small in the distance, and she realizes how far she has come. The metaphor is obvious, but still powerful. Sometimes, physical movement helps create emotional movement. She thinks about her sister's funeral, how everyone kept saying, "She's in a better place now." The words had felt empty then, but sitting here in this rain-soaked quiet, Maya begins to understand something different. Her sister is not in a better place. Her sister is gone. But Maya can choose to be in a better place with her memories. The realization arrives without fanfare, like rain soaking gradually into thirsty soil. Maya has been carrying her sister's death like a burden when she could carry her sister's life like a gift. The distinction seems simple, but its implications feel enormous. Rain drips from her hair as Maya considers this shift in perspective. Grief has been her way of honoring her sister, but perhaps celebration would be more appropriate. Her sister had lived fully loved, deeply faced challenges with courage. These qualities deserved remembrance, not just the sadness of their ending. Maya stands and begins walking again. The path levels out now, following the ridgeline through a grove of ancient trees. Their branches form a natural cathedral overhead, and she feels held by their presence. She thinks about all the other pilgrims who have walked this same route, carrying their own losses and hopes. The silence no longer feels like deprivation, but like clarity. Without constant mental chatter, Maya can hear subtler voices, her intuition, her deeper wisdom, her sister's love still echoing in her heart. These quiet messages had been there all along, drowned out by her need to analyze and control everything. She passes several more shrines, each marking a different stage of the pilgrimage. At one small altar, Maya leaves a stone she has been carrying, symbolically releasing her guilt about their final argument. At another, she lights a stick of incense for her sister's memory. These simple actions feel more meaningful than any elaborate ritual. The path begins its descent toward the temple's far entrance. Maya's legs feel stronger now despite hours of walking. Physical fatigue has given way to something like exhilaration. She understands why athletes talk about endorphins, but this feeling seems deeper than brain chemistry. As she walks down the hillside, Maya reflects on the morning's journey. She came seeking answers about how to live without her sister. Instead, she discovered how to live with her sister's continued presence in her heart. The difference might sound subtle, but it changes everything. The final stretch of path winds through a garden of flowering bushes. Even in the rain, their colors seem vibrant. Maya realizes she has not noticed beauty for months, too absorbed in her grief to see anything beyond her own pain. This return of aesthetic awareness feels like awakening from a long sleep. At the garden's end, she reaches the temple's main gate. A small bell hangs beside the entrance, meant to announce pilgrims' completion of their journey. Maya hesitates before ringing it, wanting to preserve these last moments of solitude and clarity. When she finally strikes the bell, its clear tone echoes across the valley. The sound seems to carry away the last of her resistance to her sister's death. Not acceptance of the loss, but acceptance of the love that made the loss so painful. Maya understands now that grief is love with nowhere to go, and perhaps love can find new directions. A monk opens the gate and welcomes her with a slight bow. Maya bows in return, grateful for the protocol that requires no words. She is not ready yet to translate this morning's insights into language. The experience needs time to settle like sediment in still water. Inside the temple courtyard, Maya removes her wet jacket and sits on a bench to put her shoes back on. Her feet are dirty and scraped, but they have carried her faithfully through this difficult journey. She feels proud of them, proud of herself for not turning back when the rain started. Other pilgrims move quietly through the courtyard, their faces showing the same mixture of exhaustion and peace Maya feels. Some are just beginning their walks, their expressions anxious and hopeful. Others return like her, changed by whatever they discovered on the silent path. Maya finds the small room where pilgrims can rest and dry their clothes. She changes into dry garments and combs the rain from her hair. Looking in the mirror, she sees subtle differences in her face. The tight lines around her eyes have softened. Her mouth no longer holds the permanent tension she has carried for months. She thinks about returning home tomorrow, about explaining this experience to friends who will want to know if she found what she was looking for. Maya realizes she did not find anything new. Instead, she remembered things she already knew, but had forgotten. That love survives death, that healing happens gradually, that walking can be a form of prayer. The rain continues outside, drumming against the windows with the same rhythm that accompanied her pilgrimage. Maya no longer sees it as an obstacle, but as a companion. The rain washed away more than dirt during her walk. It cleansed old patterns of thinking that no longer served her. As evening approaches, Maya joins other pilgrims for a simple meal, eaten in continued silence. The food tastes exceptionally good, perhaps because hunger has sharpened her appreciation, or perhaps because grief had dulled her senses for so long. She eats slowly, savoring each bite like a meditation. After dinner, she writes in the journal the monks provided, trying to capture insights before they fade. But the words feel inadequate compared to the experience itself. Some understanding can only be held in the body, in the memory of feet on stone rain, on skin breath moving steadily through challenging terrain. Maya goes to bed early, exhausted but peaceful. Tomorrow she will speak again, return to her ordinary life, face the practical matters that death always leaves behind. But something fundamental has shifted during today's silent walk. She has learned to carry her sister's memory as a blessing rather than a burden. In her dreams that night, Maya walks the temple path again, but this time her sister walks beside her. They do not speak in the dream either, but their shared silence feels complete, filled with everything that words could never express. Part 8. The final benediction. Master Thuan stands at the temple's highest altar as dawn breaks through the rain clouds. At 87 years old, he has performed this final ceremony countless times, but today feels different. Today marks the completion of another cycle, another group of seekers who have walked the sacred paths and learned the temple's ancient lessons. He begins by lighting the ceremonial brazier, its flames dancing in harmony with the gentle rain that continues to fall outside. The smoke rises in spirals, carrying with it the intentions and prayers of all who have sought wisdom within these walls. Master Thuan remembers his own first benediction received 60 years ago when he was young and desperate for answers that seemed forever beyond his reach. The temple bells begin their morning song, but not the regular measured chimes that mark ordinary time. Today they ring in the special pattern reserved for benedictions, a rhythm that speaks to something deeper than the conscious mind. Master Thuan listens to their voices and hears within them the echoes of every lesson taught and learned in this sacred space. Brother Wei approaches the altar, no longer the confused young man who struggled with doubt just months ago. His face carries the calm clarity of someone who has learned to hold questions and answers as equally sacred. Behind him walks Sister May, her 20 years of listening to the lotus bell, having taught her that every storm contains music for those who know how to hear it. Master Chen joins them, bringing with him the wisdom of flowing water and the understanding that resistance creates suffering, while acceptance creates peace. His presence reminds Master Thuan of the countless hours spent by the silver stream, watching students learn to let their worries be carried away by the eternal current of now. Anna arrives next, her voice forever changed by her encounter with the sacred pools. She has learned to speak echoes of love rather than echoes of pain, and her presence brings a gentleness that transforms every conversation into an opportunity for healing. Master Thuan sees in her face the reflection of every soul who has discovered that forgiveness begins with forgiving oneself. Maya follows, still carrying the quiet strength she found during her silent pilgrimage. Her barefoot journey taught her that some wisdom can only be received when the mind stops its constant chatter and allows the body to remember what the heart has always known. She moves with the confident grace of someone who has learned to walk with grief rather than being paralyzed by it. The young novices who learn to bend like bamboo in the sacred grove take their places around the altar. Brother Lin, Sister Lily, Brother David and Brother Chen have discovered that flexibility is not weakness, but the highest form of strength. They stand with the fluid alertness of those who have learned to dance with change rather than fight against it. Master Tran, keeper of the sacred pools, brings his deep understanding of how words can wound or heal, depending on the intention behind them. His decades of teaching seekers to transform their inner dialogue, from criticism to compassion, has shown him that the voice we use with ourselves determines the voice we offer to the world. As the rain intensifies outside, Master Thuan begins the final teaching that will weave together all the lessons these students have learned during their time at the temple. His voice carries the authority of someone who has spent a lifetime discovering that every spiritual practice ultimately points toward the same essential truth. You have come to this temple seeking many different things. He begins, his words resonating in the stone chamber like ripples in a still pond. Some sought peace from anxiety, others searched for healing from loss. Many hoped to find answers to questions that kept them awake at night. But what you have discovered here is not what you came looking for. He pauses, allowing the weight of this statement to settle. The assembled students listen with the deep attention of those who have learned that the most important teachings often arrive wrapped in paradox. You came seeking to change yourselves, but you learned instead to accept yourselves. You hoped to eliminate your problems, but you discovered how to dance with them. You wanted certainty, but you found peace within uncertainty. This is the way of all authentic spiritual growth. It gives us not what we think we need, but what we actually need. Master Thuan moves around the altar, lighting additional incense sticks that represent the different paths of practice offered by the temple. Each fragrant spiral rises toward the ceiling, distinct yet part of the same offering. The whispering gates taught you that wisdom begins with listening, not with speaking. Too often we approach spiritual practice demanding that it conform to our expectations, but the gates reminded you that true understanding comes to those who wait with open hearts rather than closed fists. Brother Wei nods, remembering his first encounter with the mysterious voice that taught him patience. The gates had refused to open until he learned to hear their subtle song, a lesson that prepared him for every subsequent teaching. The silver stream showed you that peace is not found by stopping the flow of thoughts and emotions, but by learning to move with them gracefully. Like water around stones, consciousness flows around obstacles without becoming disturbed by their presence. The stream taught you that resistance creates turbulence, while acceptance creates calm. Master Chen closes his eyes, feeling again the cool water moving through his fingers as he learned to release his need to control every aspect of his inner experience. The stream had been his most patient teacher, never hurrying him but never allowing him to avoid the lessons he needed to learn. The lotus bell demonstrated that chaos and harmony are not opposites, but partners in the eternal dance of existence. Even storms have their own music for those who develop the ears to hear it. The bell taught you that disturbance and peace can coexist, that you need not wait for perfect conditions to experience perfect calm. Sister May remembers countless mornings listening to the bell's rain song, learning that her own emotional weather could be equally beautiful when she stopped judging it and started appreciating its natural rhythms. The sacred pools revealed that every word you speak creates echoes that return to you, but purified by the intention behind them. You learned that harsh words spoken from love sound different than harsh words spoken from anger, and that the pools reflect this difference back to you. This teaching transformed your relationship not only with others, but with yourselves. Anna touches her throat unconsciously, remembering how her voice had changed after learning to speak to her own reflection with compassion instead of criticism. The pools had taught her that forgiveness is not about forgetting the past, but about changing the story she tells about it. The bamboo grove showed you that strength comes not from rigidity, but from flexibility, not from fighting change, but from flowing with it. The bamboo bends but does not break because it accepts its nature rather than fighting against it. You learned that emotions like weather are meant to move through you rather than take up permanent residence. The young novices smile, remembering their meditation in the grove during the storm. They had learned that day that peace is not the absence of movement, but movement in harmony with natural forces, whether those forces are external winds or internal emotions. The lantern of clarity illuminated the truth that light and darkness need each other to create meaning. Without shadows, light has no definition. Without questions, answers have no value. You discovered that spiritual maturity means holding both certainty and uncertainty with equal grace. Brother Wei feels the memory of that night when doubt transformed from enemy to teacher, when he finally understood that his questioning mind was not evidence of spiritual failure, but proof of authentic engagement with the path. The silent pilgrimage taught you that some wisdom can only be received when the mind stops its constant commentary and allows the body to remember what it has always known. In silence, you discovered voices that had been there all along. The voice of intuition, the voice of love, the voice of your deepest wisdom. Maya's hand moves instinctively to her heart, where she still carries the peace she found during her barefoot walk through the rain. That journey had taught her that healing happens not through understanding, but through walking, not through analyzing, but through experiencing. Master Thuan returns to the center of the altar, where the main brazier burns with steady flame despite the rain that continues to fall outside. He looks at each student in turn, seeing in their faces the transformation that comes from genuine spiritual practice. Now, you must leave this temple and return to your ordinary lives, but you will not return unchanged. You carry within you the lessons of the gates, the stream, the bell, the pools, the grove, the lantern, and the path. More importantly, you carry within you the understanding that these are not separate teachings, but different facets of one central truth. He pauses again, allowing anticipation to build around this central revelation. That truth is this: you are not separate from the rain that falls, the water that flows, the wind that bends the bamboo, or the silence that holds all sound. You are not a visitor to this existence, but an essential part of it. Your joys and sorrows, your questions and insights, your struggles and breakthroughs are all movements in the same cosmic dance. The rain outside intensifies, as if the temple itself is offering its blessing to these words. Master Thuan raises his arms toward the ceiling, his voice growing stronger with the passion of someone sharing his life's deepest understanding. When you return to your homes, you will face the same challenges that brought you here, but you will face them with new eyes, new hearts, new understanding. The anxiety that once paralyzed you will become energy. You can channel toward compassionate action. The grief that once consumed you will become depth that allows you to comfort others. The anger that once controlled you will become fire that fuels your commitment to justice and truth. Anna wipes tears from her eyes, understanding finally that her sister's death had not been meaningless suffering, but a doorway into deeper compassion for all who grieve. Maya nods, recognizing that her own journey through loss had prepared her to guide others who walk similar paths. The temple has taught you that spiritual practice is not about transcending your humanity, but about embracing it fully. You are not here to become something other than human, but to become fully, authentically, courageously human. Your emotions are not obstacles to enlightenment, but expressions of it. Your questions are not signs of ignorance, but evidence of wisdom seeking to know itself more deeply. Master Thuan begins walking slowly around the assembled group, his voice taking on the rhythmic quality of a chant or prayer. As you leave this place, carry with you the memory of rain on sacred stones, the sound of bells marking sacred time, the feeling of water flowing over your hands, the sight of bamboo dancing in the wind, the warmth of flame flickering in darkness, the peace of silence holding all sound. Brother Wei closes his eyes, feeling these memories settle into his bones like blessings he will carry forever. Sister May breathes deeply, knowing that wherever she goes, she will carry with her the ability to hear music in any storm. Master Chen feels the stream's wisdom flowing through him, teaching him to move with grace through whatever currents life may bring. Remember that every step you take on ordinary pavement can be as sacred as the steps you took on the temple path if you bring to it the same quality of attention. Every conversation can be an opportunity to speak echoes of love if you remember the lessons of the sacred pools. Every challenge can be met with the flexibility of bamboo if you recall what the grove taught you about bending without breaking. The young novices exchange glances, understanding that they are being commissioned not just to remember these teachings, but to embody them in their daily lives. They will return to schools and jobs and families, but they will bring with them the ability to find the sacred within the ordinary. The lantern's clarity will guide you when decisions must be made in uncertainty. The silence of the pilgrimage will teach you to listen for the quiet voice of wisdom beneath the loud voice of fear. The gate's whisper will remind you that the most important things often speak in the gentlest tones. Master Thuan returns to the altar and picks up a small brass bell, its surface worn smooth by countless ceremonies. He rings it once, and its clear tone fills the chamber with vibrations that seem to echo in every heart present. This bell marks not an ending, but a beginning. You came to us as students, but you leave as teachers. Not teachers in the formal sense, but teachers in the way that all awakened beings are teachers. Through their presence, their example, their willingness to live with open hearts in a world that often encourages closed hearts. Maya thinks about the friends waiting for her at home, wondering how she will share what she has learned without diminishing it through inadequate words. Master Thuan seems to read her thoughts. You will not teach through preaching, but through being. You will not convince others of these truths through argument, but through demonstration. When people see the peace you carry, they will become curious about its source. When they witness your ability to remain centered during storms, they will want to learn your secret. This is how wisdom spreads, not through force, but through attraction. Anna remembers her work as a teacher, understanding now that her classroom will become a place where she practices what the temple taught her about speaking echoes of love rather than echoes of judgment. Her students will learn not just academic subjects, but how to treat themselves and others with compassion. Some of you will return to this temple in years to come, bringing you questions and seeking deeper understanding. Others will find their continued practice in different settings, different communities, different traditions. Both paths honor what you have learned here, for the temple exists not to keep you, but to prepare you for whatever comes next. The rain begins to soften outside, as if the storm that brought these teachings is gradually giving way to calmer weather. Master Thuan rings the bell again 3 times, marking the formal conclusion of the benediction ceremony. Take with you this final blessing. May the peace you have found here become a gift you offer to the world. May the wisdom you have received become medicine for a hurting planet. May the love you have discovered become a bridge between what is and what could be. He places his hands over the brazier, and the flames leap higher, casting dancing shadows on the walls that seem to tell stories of all the seekers who have stood in this same place over the centuries. Go now, with the temple's blessing, carrying its teachings, not as burdens to be borne, but as wings to lift you higher than you ever imagined possible. The rain that blessed your time here will bless your journey home and all the journeys yet to come. One by one, the students approach the altar to receive Master Thuan's final blessing. He places his hands briefly on each head, offering a silent prayer for their continued growth and understanding. With each blessing, he sees not just who they are now, but who they are becoming. Brother Wei receives the blessing and feels his remaining doubts transform into questions. He can hold lightly questions that motivate rather than paralyze. Sister May feels the bell's song echoing in her heart, knowing she will never again hear storms as mere noise. Master Chen feels the stream's wisdom flowing through him, teaching him to meet every future moment with the fluidity of water. Anna receives the blessing and feels her voice transforming even further, becoming an instrument capable of healing rather than harm. Maya feels the silence of her pilgrimage expanding within her, creating space for wisdom to emerge in even the most chaotic circumstances. Each of the young novices receives their blessing and feels the bamboo's flexibility becoming part of their essential nature, knowing they will be able to bend with whatever winds life may bring without losing their fundamental integrity. As the ceremony concludes, the students begin to gather their few possessions and prepare for their departures. Some will leave today, others tomorrow, but all carry with them the understanding that they are forever changed by their time in this sacred place. Master Thuan remains at the altar as they file out his own heart, full of gratitude for the privilege of witnessing so much growth and transformation. Each group of students teaches him something new about the timeless wisdom the temple preserves and shares. The rain continues to fall gently outside, blessing their departures as it blessed their arrivals. Master Thuan listens to its familiar song and hears within it the voices of all who have found peace within these walls, all who have learned to dance with uncertainty, all who have discovered that the sacred is not separate from the ordinary, but hidden within it. He extinguishes the ceremonial flames, but leaves the main brazier burning ready for the next group of seekers who will inevitably find their way to this place. The temple's work continues as it has for centuries, as it will for centuries to come. As evening approaches, Master Thuan walks slowly through the empty corridors, his footsteps echoing in the silence. Tomorrow will bring new students with new questions, but today belongs to gratitude for those who came seeking wisdom and found instead that they had been wise all along. The sacred rain falls on Blessing Temple and world alike, carrying with it the prayers and intentions of all who seek to live with greater love, deeper peace, and more authentic joy. The benediction is complete, but its echoes will continue forever. Part 9. The Return. 3 years have passed since the benediction ceremony at the Rain Temple. The lessons learned within those sacred walls now live in ordinary places, transformed into daily practices that bring peace to busy streets and crowded offices. Brother Wei, no longer a monk, works as a counselor in the city's largest hospital. His small office overlooks a courtyard where rain often falls on concrete instead of sacred stones. When patients arrive carrying unbearable questions about suffering and meaning, he remembers the whispering gates that taught him to listen before speaking. Today, he meets with Sarah, a young mother whose child was born with a serious illness. Her anger fills the room like a storm. But Wei hears beneath it the same desperate seeking that once drove him to the temple. "Why is this happening to us?" Sarah demands. "What did we do wrong?" Wei sits quietly, letting her words echo before responding. The gates taught him that rushing to answer often prevents real understanding. "Tell me about your son," he says finally. Sarah's anger softens as she describes her child's smile, his curiosity, despite his limitations, the way he reaches for her when he's frightened. Wei watches her face transform as she speaks of love rather than fear. "You haven't done anything wrong," Wei says gently. "Sometimes life brings storms we never expected. The question isn't why they come, but how we move through them." Sarah looks at him with surprise. "You talk like someone who's been through storms yourself." "I have, and I learned that fighting the storm takes more energy than dancing with it." Across the city, Anna teaches her high school English class about the power of words. The sacred pools taught her that every sentence carries echoes, and she sees her classroom as a place where young voices learn to speak love instead of harm. Marcus, one of her most challenging students, sits in the back row with arms crossed and face closed. His essay about family disappointment reveals pain that reminds Anna of her own guilt about her sister's death. "Marcus, would you stay after class?" she asks when the bell rings. He approaches her desk reluctantly, expecting criticism. Instead, Anna speaks to him the way she learned to speak to her own reflection at the temple pools. "Your writing shows real courage," she tells him. "It takes strength to write about difficult things." Marcus looks up surprised. "My other teachers say I'm too negative." "You're not negative. You're honest about pain. That's the beginning of healing." She hands him a journal. "Try writing one thing you're grateful for each day. Not big things, small things. The way light looks on water, the taste of your favorite food, the feeling of completing something difficult." Marcus takes the journal hesitantly. "Will that really help?" "It helped me," Anna says, remembering her sister's voice in the pool's gentle echoes. Maya has returned to her job as a social worker, but her silent pilgrimage changed how she approaches her clients' crises. She no longer tries to fix everything with words. Sometimes she simply sits with people in their grief, offering the gift of non-judgmental presence. Today she visits Elena, an elderly woman whose husband died 6 months ago. Elena hasn't spoken much since the funeral, worrying her family who want her to move on and get back to normal. Maya enters Elena's apartment and notices how quiet it feels, not empty, but full of a different kind of presence. She sits in the chair across from Elena and waits. "They think I should be better by now," Elena finally says. "Who thinks that?" "My children, my friends. They want me to go to social events, to smile more, to act like I used to." Maya remembers her own journey through grief, how the temple path taught her to honor sorrow instead of rushing past it. "What do you think?" Maya asks. "I think grief is love with nowhere to go," Elena says, tears starting to flow. "And I have so much love for him still." "That sounds beautiful, not broken." Elena looks at Maya with gratitude. No one has said that before. Grief isn't an illness to cure. It's love expressing itself in a different form. They sit together in the apartment's gentle quiet, Elena's tears falling like the rain that blessed Maya's temple pilgrimage. Sister May has left monastic life, but carries the Lotus Bells teaching into her work as a music therapist. She helps children with autism discover communication through rhythm and sound, teaching them that music exists even in apparent chaos. Today, she works with David, a 7-year-old who hasn't spoken since his parents' divorce. Traditional therapy hasn't reached him, but May suspects he simply needs to find his own rhythm. She sets up drums of different sizes and invites David to explore them. At first, he hits them randomly, creating noise that might sound meaningless to untrained ears. But May listens with the patience the bell taught her. Gradually, she hears patterns emerging in David's drumming. His rhythm reflects his emotional state, rapid and scattered when he's anxious, slow and deep when he's sad. She begins to match his rhythms on her own drum, creating a wordless conversation. David looks up in surprise when he realizes she's responding to his music rather than correcting it. For the first time in months, he makes eye contact. Together, they create a rhythm that speaks what words cannot express. David's parents, watching through the observation window, begin to understand that their son has been communicating all along. They simply needed to learn his language. Master Chen has returned to his family's farm, bringing the stream's wisdom to agricultural work that his ancestors performed for generations. Water management becomes meditation as he designs irrigation systems that work with natural flow rather than against it. During the worst drought in decades, neighboring farmers panic about failing crops. Chen suggests they visit his fields to see a different approach. "You're fighting the lack of water," he tells them. "What if you worked with what water you have?" He shows them how to capture morning dew, how to mulch deeply to retain moisture, how to choose plants that thrive in dry conditions rather than struggle against them. "My grandfather always said water finds its way," explains Chen. "Our job isn't to force it, but to invite it." The farmers initially resist these ideas, but as Chen's crops continue to thrive while theirs struggle, they begin to listen with new attention. By season's end, Chen's success has spread throughout the region. He organizes workshops teaching water conservation methods, but his real gift is the calm presence he brings to agricultural crisis. "Drought is just another form of weather," he tells worried farmers. "We can learn to dance with it like we dance with rain." Brother David, one of the young novices who learned flexibility in the bamboo grove, now works as a meditation instructor in a corporate wellness program. Business executives initially resist his teachings about bending instead of breaking, but workplace stress eventually opens them to new approaches. Today, he teaches a group of managers facing a major company restructuring. Their anxiety fills the conference room like static electricity. "Change is like wind," David tells them. "You can't stop it, but you can learn to move with it gracefully." He guides them through a simple breathing exercise, teaching them to find stability within movement rather than fighting against it. "Think of bamboo in a storm," he suggests. "It bends so far, it almost touches the ground, but it doesn't break because it doesn't resist." Margaret, the company's CEO, speaks up. "That sounds nice in theory, but we have real deadlines, real pressures." "Bamboo faces real storms too," David responds. "The pressure is real, but your response to pressure can change." By the session's end, the managers report feeling more centered despite unchanged circumstances. David reminds them that peace isn't the absence of challenge, but the presence of inner flexibility. Anna organizes regular reunions for the temple group, understanding that community helps sustain individual practice. They meet monthly in the city park, sharing how they're applying the temple's teachings to ordinary life. Today's gathering includes everyone except Master Thuan, who remains at the temple. Rain begins to fall as they settle under a pavilion, and everyone smiles at the familiar sound. The rain still teaches. Maya observes, listening to its rhythm on the pavilion roof. "Everything still teaches," Wei adds. "I see the whispering gates in every conversation with patients. They all have something to tell me if I listen properly." Anna nods. "My students are like sacred pools reflecting back what I bring to them. If I bring judgment, they show me resistance. If I bring acceptance, they show me openness." "The corporate world is definitely bamboo grove territory," David laughs. "Constant winds of change, and you better learn to bend or you'll break." Chen has brought vegetables from his farm grown using the stream's principles of working with natural forces. As they share the food, they realize they're continuing the temple's tradition of turning ordinary activities into sacred practices. "I miss Master Thuan," May says. "I wonder how he's doing." "Maybe we should visit," suggests Maya. "Not to receive more teachings, but to share what we've learned." They decide to plan a return journey to the temple, understanding now that they approach it not as students seeking answers, but as practitioners ready to offer their own gifts. The rain intensifies, and they move closer together under the pavilion. The sound reminds them of countless hours spent in the temple's various sacred spaces, learning lessons they now carry into a world that desperately needs such wisdom. "We're different people than we were 3 years ago," Anna reflects. "We're the same people," Wei corrects gently. "We just remember who we always were." As evening approaches and the rain softens to a gentle mist, they prepare to return to their separate lives. But the connection between them remains strong, woven from shared understanding and mutual support. Each will carry the other's examples back into their work, strengthened by knowing they're not alone in trying to live with greater wisdom and compassion. The temple's most important teaching continues to unfold, that every moment offers an opportunity to practice love, and every person they encounter becomes both teacher and student in the endless curriculum of awakening. The rain falls on the city as it once fell on the temple's sacred stones, blessing their continuing journey home to themselves. Your journey through the sacred rain temple draws to a close, but the sounds of the rain continue to echo within your heart. From the whispering gates that taught you to listen to the silver stream that carried away your worries to the lotus bell that harmonized with the storm's rhythm, each story has become part of your soul. You have learned that peace is not the absence of storms, but the ability to dance with them. Like the bamboo in the sacred grove, you can bend without breaking flow with life, while remaining rooted in your truth. The lantern of clarity showed you that understanding emerges when we embrace both light and shadow. The silent pilgrimage taught you that sometimes in quiet moments we discover our deepest answers. The sacred pools reflected back voices of love instead of harsh judgment, and the final benediction reminded you that you are not just a student, but also a teacher spreading peace through every action and word. Now, as you return to ordinary life, remember that each raindrop carries wisdom. Every gust of wind invites you to bend gracefully. Every moment of silence holds the understanding you seek. The temple's most profound teaching remains: you are not separate from the rain, the wind, or the silence. You are part of the eternal dance of existence, and your presence brings healing to a world that desperately needs such wisdom.